Thank you. So we're gonna do a little advanced SCW, buffered SCW specifically tutorial. Okay. And this is, we're going to be going a little bit into Conspiracy Town, because, you know, I'm not a code decompiler. I don't know actually what I'm talking about. But I do have quite a lot of experience with this. I very often get these buffered SCWs first try in runs, especially in the past few months. It's been very unusual for me to not get it first try. So just, you know, throwing that out there. So first I'm going to tell you about the Lacknaroki SCW and how I do it. And just so we're aware, the file that you use, whether it is, you know, master mode, time of day unlocked, is irrelevant, okay? None of that matters. But a thing that we will do, just real quickly, is make it nighttime, because in the speedrun, it will be nighttime when you do this. And it does help. And I'll tell you why I think it helps. So what makes a buffered SCW work? Let's talk about that for a second. Essentially what's going on here is you are trying to keep the shrine elevator and the campfires loaded in so that when you land, the cutscene trigger for that elevator plays and you are able to enter whatever shrine radius you are nearest to. And the reason why it unloads is, and this is where we're going into bit conspiracy land, is kind of a resource management thing. Like the way that this game works to like run at the performance that it does with the, you know, Switch engine that it does, is it's constantly loading and unloading things constantly, because if it loaded everything that there was in too big of an area, you would be playing a slideshow, right? So you leaving a shrine elevator radius is just resource management. It's not game stupid. It's not what's wrong with you devs. It's just the game doing what it's built to do, manage its loading resources to unload objects and items on a certain frame whenever you boot up the game, and to load them back in on that frame, right? So a good thing to do to try and avoid things from loading in that you don't want to is just camera angles. So think of it this way. If you're moving to a new area via a wind bomb, the game is going to start unloading stuff in the area that you're nearby and loading in the things that you are going to, right? And the way that this game often works with loading is, excuse me, if you are looking at an object, it's going to load. Like you're going to load in things that is on camera, because this game sort of works on toddler logic too. Like, you know, if I can't see you, you don't exist. So simply by keeping the camera away from the ground, you can not only avoid lag frames, which could mess up your buffering, but you can also avoid the game loading anything that isn't necessary. And that gives you a higher percentage chance of your SCW working, because you're not forcing out the thing you want to keep loaded by loading in something else unintentionally. Make sense? Okay, so let's talk about this SCW. I only use 4 wood. You're more than welcome to do 4 more out here. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. It's just more farming. And for my technique, you want to make sure that none of the fires are touching the edge of the elevator. So I'm actually going to do that to make sure they don't scoot forward. And also in my technique, you put Link's feet essentially on the edge of the elevator. It's not super precise, but, you know, this is fine. And you want to stand a little bit left of center. Like I'm just barely off center, right? And you want the camera to be kind of outside the elevator too. You don't want it to be like really on top of Link or anything either. And you can do that just by doing that, by tilting the camera. You're learning so much, good. So then you aim a bit right of the elevator so that when you jump against the wall, you're actually hitting it perpendicularly, not hitting it in a weird way, right? Like you can even like see that Link pops down less depending on what angle you hit it. And then do your SCW. I don't know how to play this game anymore. Unequip, or let go of the weapon and unequip the shield and mash X and A. Okay. And then I aim Link a little bit off Cardinal, right? Oh, and there's a thing that I wanted to do. So let's reload and let's make sure that we have a metronome synced up. So I'm gonna need your help actually, because I can't hear what you're hearing. Okay, so I'm gonna put a delay on the capture card. Filter, delay. Okay. We're gonna put it at 50 milliseconds. So tell me if my buffers are synced up with the... Well, first of all, can you hear the metronome right now? You can. Okay. Is this synced up? It looks close. And I'm kind of like unpausing and tapping it. On the beat. Okay, we'll go with that. Okay, so again, campfires, 4 at least. And if they kind of like stack on top of each other, just pick one up to like make them flat, because if you try and set them on fire when they're stacked on each other, one could break and that's annoying. So, get our storage. Alright, and now I'm going to kind of look up, but make sure that I'm moving forward, like absolutely moving forward and straight before I do the wind bomb, because if you kind of rush it, then it'll fail. Okay, so we got the wind bomb. Okay, so what you saw there near the end when I was pulling the glider and putting it away is I wanted to make sure that I wasn't fucking up the rhythm as I was landing. Because in my experience, you can just lose very quickly the storage or the cutscene thing by rushing everything. So just don't do that. I don't know, I have the timer running. But yeah, like when you're buffering, you can also skip beats. Like you can hold the quick menu like this. So just take your time, because this is the thing you also have to realize. Messing up your rhythm can mess up the trick, and also any lag that you're getting from being in the quick menu and trying to land can eat your glider input as well. Like, that probably happens more often than people realize. So just take your time when you're landing and don't mess up your rhythm. Okay. Now let's go to Rakazunzo. You missed why it's important to not have the fires touching the elevator. Only because the starting position is important, and you'll just catch on fire, and it will make you scared. That's all. So if it is on the elevator, then you're going to have to like do it quickly, and it'll be weird and scuffed. Okay, so I'm going to do this. Oops. I'm going to do this in the middle of the day, which kind of goes against what I was talking about earlier with resource management. There are more NPCs and there's more stuff going on in Gerudo Valley, in Gerudo Town during the day, but it just ends up being how the routing works. And it's hard to say whether or not time of day actually changes anything. It could just be placebo. It's hard to say. So to kind of avoid overloading the game and unloading our elevator and campfires, we're going to make sure to not have the town in frame at all. And also, I want to do this on a file with no map unlocked, because it's going to be a lot easier to show the landing spot on the mini-map if I am in a non-map unlocked thing. You know what I'm trying to say. So I'm gonna walk out to the desert to show you where it looks like, so you can actually like see it if you do want to look at the ground, or you can just look on the mini map of where that actually is. And I go over this in my SCW tutorial, but it bears repeating. It's just good info to have. Okay, so there's the shrine right there, right? And we're kind of flying this way toward Rakazunzo. This grassy patch is essentially where you want to be, and kind of on the other side of it. Like, if you land in the patch, you're kind of just outside of the actual range. Is it actually confirmed? I would have guessed that it's confirmed. I don't know. Like, that's Piston's study. I don't know that. But where you want to land is on the other side of this grass patch. And if you look carefully at the mini-map, which I don't know if you can see that very well on my screen, you got this big plus sign here on the mini-map. And that is definitely in range. But the earliest you can go is on this lesser spot here. Like right around here is where you can actually land on the mini-map. And it will work out for you. But either way, it's on the other side of this grassy patch. And that's where you want to land. So you can either look at the map or you can look at the ground. Okay? So now let me get over to the shrine. It would probably be faster to warp, but we might as well just surf. And the thing that I'm going to do, and I think that has helped me a lot with consistency on this, is really just having the camera panned out to the desert the entire time. Because as you can tell, there's no resources out there, right? Like, if we really believe that having things on camera for SCWs can unload your campfires just simply by resource management, having the camera looking at nothing that will be loaded into frame will help you, in my opinion. And it has proven very nice for me. Okay, so this isn't the right time of day, but it's fine. It's daytime, and that's okay. we'll set a group here. And then I put one outside here. You're free to put one wherever you want to, but this is just where I put it. Okay. Now we will do our storage. And that was too late. So here's another thing about storage. You don't want to unequip too late. If you start moving down like that, I'm guaranteed to go in. You want to unequip the shield almost as fast as you can. Like maybe you have faster hands than me, but you want to do it pretty quickly. So like before you even hit the wall. Okay. And we'll start our metronome. And then I aim at this spot on the arch and then turn the camera out to the desert and look from the side. And also a little bit up too. Okay. So visual cue here for being able to see when to pull the glider is you can see the stamina wheel. There's no red mark on it, right? And that means that you're able to pull the glider. I usually buffer 3 times after I see the red marks disappear on the stamina, and then I open the glider. And then you have to, if you're doing it like me, I hold with my left thumb, and then I kind of like cross my hands over and use my other thumb to hold the right direction. And if you're looking out here at the desert, the direction you want to hold your control stick is about 4 or 5 on the clock face, okay? That's where you're holding it. There you go. So you see I really took my time to make sure I was going to pull the glider, and it still worked. So there you go. So, in conclusion, camera angles are important. Knowing the spots on the map where you can land are also pretty important. Let me also show you this where is it? Yeah. It's hard to remember the names of shrines in Italian, but let me show you the spot on the map in Kakariko Village where you can land earliest. It may save you a little bit time. It may be less preferable to you. You may want to go through the air and pull the glider at the very last moment before hitting the ground. That's really up to you. But I'm going to show you where on the mini-map and where like visually you can land earliest, okay? So right here, there is a big plus on the map that I'm over, right? This thing. If you land on the other side of it on the mini-map, right here, that is far enough. Like you're kind of landing near this big tree surrounded by little ones on the edge of the canyon. If you're more out here on the mini-map, just be careful because you can just fall down here. I've done that before. But landing around the plus sign or a little bit right of it is going to be successful for you. You've been gliding too far? That's fine. Like you can go all the way out here and it's just going to make you closer. But ideally speaking, if you land closer to Taloneg, you're giving yourself a better opportunity to not have the campfires unload on you because you're closer to them. This is the kind of sweet spot, so to speak, that Piston theorizes about. But yeah, that's my presentation. It's all about camera angles, in my opinion. It's all about helping the game with its resource management. It's been treating me very well lately. I haven't done an SCW or a buffered SCW in a month, like literally a month, and I just got both of them first try. So take that for whatever you will. Okay? Thank you.